what would you say was the more surprising aspect of last night's trash talk? Joe Ingles on Paul George or Mitt Romney on Russell Westbrook? Howard. What would you say was more surprising?
The more surprising I'm going to give to Mitt. How about that? Ingles is a little bit of a provocateur, just kind of like you could see it last night, that mischievous look in his eyes. Like, that's just kind of who he is. He's going to mess with you a little bit. Ingles has that aspect to him. So I'm going to say that a former, major party presidential nominee trash talking an NBA MVP is probably the more surprising.
Yeah, that Mitt Russell Westbrook tete-a-tete, when nobody saw that one coming, but it does lead to a more, I guess, serious NBA question that was thrown out there, certainly by Kenny Smith last night, Howard, is that, and I saw Wilbon was echoing these sentiments on Twitter as well last night, that Russell Westbrook got lost in this whole I'm going to shut Ricky Rubio down, got picked up 4 fouls, totally changed the tenor of the game, and that the Oklahoma City Stars kind of get lost in themselves as opposed to a team effort. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
I think on the whole it's a fair assessment. I mean, look, if we're going to spin it in the positive direction, you could say, and I think ESPN posted a clip of this earlier this morning, of Westbrook backing up his tough talk about shutting down Rubio, where they pieced together a lot of his great defensive plays on Rubio to force him to give up the ball or deny him the ball, knocking him over, everything else last night. So you could charitably say that Westbrook brought the defensive effort, and that maybe that took its toll on him offensively. I would, of course, counter that by saying that this is who Westbrook has been offensively all the time. Like, he doesn't have any other gears. He only has one, and it's what makes him great, and it's what makes him maddening, and it is what limits the Oklahoma City Thunder's ultimate potential. Because if Westbrook is going to, as my colleague Tom Haberstroh tweeted earlier, if he's going to be leading them in field goal attempts, but being last among the Thunder players in field goal percentage, that's going to lose you a lot of games, and especially in the playoffs. That's a problem. So
if they are one and done, does that mean Paul George is done too? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, Rich, only Paul George, of course, knows the answer to that question. But, I mean, I just think logically you have to pull back and think, why is Paul George even in Oklahoma? He's in Oklahoma because he wants to be in L.A. Like, the only reason Indiana traded him to Oklahoma was because a year after that he was going to leave for L.A. He made that clear to them. So they traded him to Oklahoma, and it's not a place he sought out. It's not where he wanted to land. He has said all the right things for the most part, and he's played well there, I think, and had a good season. But at the end of the day, it's not where he chose to be. He is a free agent, and if playing in Oklahoma means, winning one playoff game and getting knocked out, he's no better off than he was in Indiana. And in fact, the Pacers have had a better season than he's had. So, I mean, no one can say definitively, but I got to think that a first-round exit certainly pushes him hard toward somewhere that's not Oklahoma.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.